Good morning. I am taking you guys with me on a hair appointment. I get asked so many questions about my hair, like what kind of cut is it? What kind of color is it? How would you describe this type of color or cut to your hairstylist? So I asked my lovely stylist here at Ritual Salon, her name is Gracie, if I could kind of, vlog this appointment and ask her some questions. I posted on my Facebook page, Lisa J Makeup, and I got a lot of questions from you guys, so we're just gonna go get my hair done and I'm going to introduce you guys to Gracie and we're going to pick her brain. All right, friends, this is my hairstylist and friend, Gracie. Gracie's been doing my hair for probably at least 10 years, right? Yeah. We met when I worked at Saks Fifth Avenue 15 years ago at the mat counter, and Gracie worked upstairs. And so she's done my hair pretty much exclusively for the last 8 years and then off and on for the last 12 probably, I would say. And she's here at Ritual Salon in Austin. I'm gonna have all the info in the description box below. So today I am getting a color. So today I'm getting my color touched up. I probably should have got it done about a month ago, but I have a conference this month and I wanted my color to be fresh, so I've been putting it off. So I'm in desperate need of color. And I don't know if we're gonna touch up my cut or not. I just got it cut a few weeks ago, so I think I'm gonna let her kind of tell me if I can clean it up or not. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm gonna just kind of be vlogging through the appointment, and we're gonna be picking Gracie's brain about my hair color, my cut, and just some questions that you guys asked on Facebook. Sorry, go ahead. Okay.
So we're going to talk about Lisa's haircut. First, I wanted to show you guys how thick her hair actually is. So, yeah. So Lisa's ponytail, I mean, it's pretty full. You know, it's like a whole hand grip worth. So she's got thicker hair than I'd say a lot of people. So we have to actually thin it out.
Like every time I come.
Every time.
It's funny, I'll ask her to take the bulk out, and she'll take a lot of it out. She'll be like, how does that feel? And I'll feel it, and I'm like, can we take out more?
So even just when I thin it out, I mean, we've got tons of hair just sitting on the floor. But as far as the style of cut, I mean, she has really long layers, and they're more of a surface layer than they are super chunky layers. So none of her layers really go above her chin. Everything is from about this point down. Yeah.
Gracie, can you elaborate what surface layers mean? I had never heard that before.
So surface layers are going to be more where the layering is going to be more on the top of the hair versus coming in and doing more of a shag or heavier layer. As you can see, the length is still pretty much there at the bottom. There's just a little bit of layering on the top of the hair.
Cool. And I feel like that gives me a little extra volume because my hair, I think, is pretty heavy. I notice when I don't get it cleaned up for a cut, it gets really flat here and just kind of real, bulky here.
Bulky at the bottom.
So when you layer it, I guess it lightens it up a bit and makes it more volume. Okay.
If I did chunkier layers, what would happen is you might end up looking like a mushroom on top because your hair is so thick. You would end up with super heaviness on top and a lot of roundness here.
Yeah.
So I have to keep the layers light so that way you don't end up with layers that look like mushroom.
I had that haircut in high school. My sophomore year was the Jennifer Aniston haircut.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And I got that.
Cut.
Yeah. And I loved it at the time. But when I look at my pictures from that time, I'm like, I look like a mushroom.
Yes. That would be the Rachel cut.
Okay. Okay, cool. So that covers our cut. Okay, and so what about color? How do you describe my color to someone that wants a similar look?
Okay, so the first thing I want to describe a little bit is just the different types of color. So an all-over color or permanent color or one-step color is where the color is the same all the way from the top to the bottom. It's just one color. There's no highlights, no lowlights. It's just solid. What we do on you is balayage. Balayage is basically hand painting. So you can take thick sections, you can take small sections, and you just paint pieces freehand. Foliage is basically going to be where I take thinner sections and I try to create a balayage effect, maximum lift with eliminating the midtones. And then a foil basically is going to go from the root. There are really fine sections, super thin weaves that will brighten. So that is like your traditional highlight that just gets maximum coverage throughout the whole head.
Okay.
So as far as like ombre, that's more of a look. So you use balayage to create an ombre, a sombre, or a color melt. You can create different looks with that.
Okay. I had asked about ombre at one point, but I think we decided that since I wear my hair straight all the time and always up and I don't really curl it or give it a lot of texture, I might not let it.
Right, so those looks are going to be more where you have darkness to lightness, and that can vary depending on what you prefer. I probably have a little bit more of a color melt where like you can tell my roots are darker and then I have all this lightness here, where we try to keep you still more of a traditional balayage with coming up higher and having that, so then when you pull back you have all this brightness and lightness under here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like my hair has changed so much the last few years. I don't know if it's hormones or age, but I feel like it's gotten so dark. So my hair looks pretty light, but this is my actual natural hair color. I mean, that's dark.
Yeah. So, and then that brings me to another point, what a partial and a full is. A partial is basically going to be like half of a ponytail, and is for every stylist that's going to vary a little bit, just like half a ponytail varies per person, like how you put it up. A full ponytail is going to be a full highlight. So that would mean that you're doing the whole head and coverage everywhere and getting light under here and through here.
We don't do that though.
No.
We just do the partial.
We do a partial.
And I think it looks great. And I wear my hair up in a ponytail a lot, but it still looks good.
Right. And you know, her hair's so thick, and with the way we layer it, you don't really see any of that darkness through here. Where with my hair, I don't want to see darkness here because it pokes out a lot more, and on her it doesn't.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, let's get some hair color mixed. All right. All right. So one thing about balayage, I always say it wrong. Balayage is you use this instead of the foils. Yeah, and that creates a softer look.
So basically, the difference between foils, saran wrap, cotton, these mesh strips, it's all tools. I can mix and match these tools and use them in different ways. I prefer the mesh strips because I can go back and check the hair. These are reusable, so I can wash them. Whereas saran wrap, once you stick it together, you know how hard it is to pull that apart. Where these, you can see, I can go back in and lift them and reapply if I needed to.
And kind of to sum it up too, balayage gives softer highlights. So it's
going to be a softer blend. You're going more for like that sun-kissed look. You're going to leave a little bit more of your natural in there for depth and definition. So you don't go in and get all those little crevices like you do with foil.
Like it doesn't look streaky.
Right.
And it kind of grows out better, right?
It grows out a little bit softer.
Right. So there's not a really harsh definition of where the highlight is.
You don't have that line of demarcation like you do with foil.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we have all the color in. I guess I'm just hanging out for it to kind of process. I wanted to answer some questions that you guys left for me on Facebook for Gracie and talk a little bit about product, because we did have a lot of questions about product. Okay, Gracie, one of the questions that I got is, what is the #1 like hair care mistake that people make?
So that would be not investing in hair care products, not buying your products from the salon. The difference between a drugstore product and a salon product is going to be how long the color lasts. Basically also going to depend on, like, can you get volume, can you get smoothness, how long do you go between your blowouts. With drugstore products, a lot of times you will find that they build up on the hair. I usually have to do a detox treatment where I can literally feel the silicone waxes just peel off of the hair, almost like a wet straw wrapped wrapper, when you get that wet, it just disintegrates and starts to peel off of the straw. That's the way drugstore products react to your hair when I cleanse it and detox it. It literally, you just feel that layer of waxing come off. So those really aren't the best for your hair color, for your styles, or for your scalp.
So what are some products that you love? I mean, I know it's going to be different for everybody, right? It's kind of like skincare.
Exactly. So I love Oribe because they work for the majority of my clients. I can go longer between my blowouts. I usually shampoo about every 3 days. But you also have to look at hair care the way you do with skincare. You have pores on your scalp, so if you were using the wrong cleanser and your skin was too oily, you could change your cleanser. So you would try to treat the problem. You wouldn't just depend on your makeup to correct that mistake. So if your scalp isn't healthy, your hair isn't going to be healthy. So you always want to address the problem first. One of the other problems that or questions that people had was looking for a hair care line that was sulfate-free, sodium chloride-free, paraben-free. Oribe does cover all of that, and it is safe for keratin treatments. They have about 2 shampoos that still have sulfates in it, but they're derived from coconut oil. And they're still safe for keratin treatments, but you'll find it on the box on the side here. It'll say paraben-free, sulfate-free, sodium chloride-free, which, you know, it's gluten-free, which that's not even the English side, this is, but cruelty-free, vegan, gluten-free, all of that is on there. So they list all of that on the packaging. So it's easy to find and know what you're using and know what ingredients are in the hair care.
Okay. One question that I'm looking at is favorite products to achieve volume and hairspray that will provide good hold but not feel sticky.
So for volume, one of my favorite products for volume is going to be the Maximista, which is also going to be right here. This one is a nice light spray. You can use it from scalp to ends. Probably about 4 to 5 mists is all you need. And it's not going to be too sticky or too tacky. It's easy to work with, but gives you that volume. And then for the hairspray, I'm going to talk about 2 hairsprays real quick. One is the anti-humidity spray. I feel like especially like weather we had yesterday, if you use a hairspray and don't put something like this on, the hairspray really is going to be having to work twice as hard. This is going to help protect it. It's like an umbrella for the rain. Super soft and flexible, and your hands can just run through your hair like nothing's in it. If you want something a little stronger, the Super Fine Hairspray by Oribe is a super fine mist, not sticky, not tacky, and super light.
Okay. See, this is where my obsession for Oribe came from. Gracie introduced me to Oribe a couple years ago. It was at the salon that she worked at before here, and I think you only go to salon. You only will work at a salon if it has
Oribe hair care.
Yeah, like she when she came over here, she was like, yeah, they carry Oribe. So
it's probably the one question clients always ask, like, do they have Oribe?
It's awesome. It's really good. So I love it. I've talked to you guys about this in several videos. In fact, I've got a mask on hold right now, the signature mask, which is, I think, it was a game changer for my hair. And I actually stopped using that mask for like the last, I don't know, few months, and I've noticed a change in my hair. I actually texted Gracie about a week ago, and I was like, my hair is starting to feel dry, and she was like, have you changed your product? And I'm like, well, I haven't been using that mask lately, so I'm picking that up today. This is my favorite line of hair care products. I feel like I really notice a difference when I use this. It's always been hard for me to find hair products that I actually felt like I noticed a difference, and with the products that I've used from Oribe, I have. So anyway, I just wanted to say that this is not a sponsored video by Oribe by any means. We're just like fangirls over the brand. So okay, let's go back and see if we have any other questions to answer before we rinse my hair out. Okay, so one of the questions that I got is, what shampoo and conditioner does Gracie use on my hair when I come in?
So when she comes in, normally what I try to do is exfoliate her scalp. She doesn't shampoo every day, and especially during the winter months, her scalp gets a little bit dry. So I'll use the Cleanse by Oribe. It actually comes out like a gray mousse. So I put this on, I leave it on her scalp, I massage it in really well, and I really try to cleanse it for her, especially since her hair is so thick. Sometimes it's a little hard for her to really get in there and exfoliate on a regular basis. For at-home hair care, she normally would probably use something like the Beautiful Color. And then what she does at home is she just started using the Serene Scalp treatment. You can use this every day. It doesn't build up on the hair. It doesn't wet the hair. It really is like a moisturizer and goes into the scalp, relieves dry itchiness.
It helps with my dandruff a lot. Yeah.
Her scalp gets flaky, and this will help to alleviate that. If you really have problems with like wettiness and dryness, they do have a whole system where you can do shampoo, conditioner, and the treatment.
What I found really works for me is using the mask, the signature mask, like once a week. But I need to get some more of the shampoo and conditioner, because when I was using both of them together, I think that was the best that my hair has ever been. So that's the line I prefer, is the signature. I think that that's the best for my hair. But again, you know, everyone's hair is different. So, you know, they have tons of different options for different types of hair and scalp. So, all right, should we go rinse? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so right now I'm sitting with toner in my hair for a few minutes, so I wanted to answer some more questions that we had, specifically about my hair color and also about toner. So I'm just going to let Gracie kind of give you the 411 on toners.
So someone asked, like, what is the best toner? That's like asking Lisa what is the best color of foundation. Everybody's going to use a different color. There's a huge range from reds and blondes and golds to cool ash tones, so you can't necessarily give a formula out. You can also look at color like, do you want a tinted moisturizer or do you want full coverage? Do you want a lip gloss or a lipstick? So that is also going to affect the toner that I use and what effect I'm going to get at the end.
Okay. And so if one question I get asked a lot is how does what color hair does your hairstyle, or what color do you use so if someone wants to go to the salon and get a similar color as my hair, what would they ask for?
So you would ask for a medium blonde balayage.
Medium blonde balayage. Balayage. Yes, I always say that. Medium blonde balayage.
Yes.
Medium blonde balayage. Okay.
So some people might actually end up needing a base bump or a root lift because their hair color is too dark. I don't have to do that on Lisa because her natural isn't as dark as, like, say, what mine is. But that basically, what a base bump or a root lift is it's going to shift your natural color, maybe like half a level. And this is also at the point in time when you would be doing it.
Okay. Good to know. And I'm going to leave all this typed out in the description box, so you don't have to write it down. You can always just reference this video later when you are at your salon. What other questions did we have? Do you remember? We covered haircut and how that is. We covered color, toners, product. We did get a question about keratin, because I mentioned in some of my videos that I have a keratin treatment that Gracie does do for me. We're going to do a separate video on that because I think that there's a lot to talk about with that. So we will be planning a video on keratin for sure. There were a couple other questions that we're going to answer in the description box below, just because either Gracie doesn't have experience with those products that were asked about or whatever. But I think we covered everything, right?
I think so. So I think we're at the end. We're going to try to cover maybe a few blow dry tips if we have a chance.
Yes, that's right. So we're going to rinse this out, and then we're going to blow dry my hair and wrap it up. Yeah. So see you guys in a sec. Okay, we're good.
So I'm going to power dry her hair first. I'm actually putting in the Straightaway by Oribe.
So it's this right here.
And when basically someone was asking how to smooth and create more of a sleek, dry, straight look. So basically what you want to do is when you power dry, always point the direction of the blow dryer in the direction of the hair. And I use my fingers to start to create that straight effect. You don't want to blow dry your hair all crazy and flip your head upside down. That's going to create more frizz, so you're going to have more work to do to smooth that out. And you want to get the hair about 80% dry before you start using the brush.
Okay, so dry hair about 80% before you start using the brush.
Yes.
Otherwise, the brush will take an hour.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Well, thank you so much, Gracie, for answering all of our questions and kind of, just taking the time to, educate us on what you do on my hair.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to answer any questions anyone has.
I'm going to leave Gracie's contact info down below. She's on Instagram. She's here at Ritual Salon in Austin, so I'll leave the contact for that as well, too. All right, you guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!